Welcome to Rock the Life, a podcast for fans by fans. I'm Katya.
I'm Amy.
Amy, today we are going to talk about the M3 Rock Festival that took place this
Yeah.
year in Maryland.
hmm
And we already did one show on it, but
hmm
now we are going to get another perspective from Jeremy from the Hair Metal Rules podcast and
Yep.
Erica.
I love her. She's just great. She's fun.
It just solidified the reason why we need to get there and hang out with them.
hmm
Because,
Yes.
truly what I got from Jeremy and Erica was, you might have heard some people say like maybe their lineup wasn't the favorite this year at the festival. Although we
hmm
had like so exciting to have David Lee Roth back and performing.
Yes.
But what Jeremy and Erica really solidified for me was this is truly like a great fan experience. It's a whole culture of rock. It's a culture of metal. It's a
hmm
culture of people who loved the 80s and some who got to experience it and live it, and some who would like to live it because they weren't even born yet when
Right.
the 80s took
I
place.
know. Yeah.
3 day concert festival. They went
hmm
to 2 out of 3 days. That is also the same we heard from Diana. She went to two of the three
hmm
days.
Yeah.
Some of the little critiques were maybe the concert might be a bit expensive and
Yeah.
no in and out privileges, which I think is also
Yeah.
that can be a tough one, especially if
Uh-huh.
it goes both ways. If it gets too hot or if it rains, or I think that would be a tough one.
Yeah. You just think of like, so weird thing to equate it to maybe, but you think about like Disneyland and like you have the
Yes.
freedom to go in and out and back to your hotel, change your clothes, rest if you need to. Obviously, we don't have a lot of teeny tiny little kids screaming and crying everywhere, but it just gives you that option. And without that, I think it's a big deterrent for some people. So, I really hope M3, because it seems like such an epic adventure. I really kind of hope that they take the feedback and kind of see what they can do with it, or how they can improve upon that. But overall, I feel like it's definitely something I want to experience.
And Amy, I'm laughing with the in and out privileges. It's not because we have little kids. It's because we're getting older and we might need to
Older, I
rest in
know.
between
I didn't want
sets.
to say it. I didn't want to say it.
Oh, I'm
I
going to
was
say
like,
it.
I was like, what if I start out in boots and by the end of the night I want my dang
I just
tennis
want,
shoes?
I know, it's like, I want
I don't.
flip flops on. Well, you know why I'm also saying that?
Yeah,
Because one
yeah.
of the things when I was like, just kind of looking over the bands that were playing in M3, I believe the band Accept is planning
hmm
their 50th anniversary tour.
What?
Yeah, no, I mean, so with that type of thing, you're like, I think
Wow.
we all might need to have a little rest in between.
Yeah. I mean, come on, Chris Caffrey. Chris Caffrey talked about, between sound check and going on, he goes and takes a nap. So, I think we're entitled to in and out and a nap,
A little nappy
maybe.
privileges here and there would
I
be
know.
fantastic. And Amy, one thing I still want to know about is
Mm,
how Steve Brown did at the
I
pre-performance or the
know.
performance, the
Yeah.
party. Let's call it the
The
party at the
the the
hotel.
the kickoff, the kickoff, yeah. And that's another thing. It's like if you want to, especially as we're getting older, you're going to go to a show for 10 hours and then you want to go to the Merriweather so you don't miss out on that.
Yes,
I'm
you
like,
do. Yes, we do.
isn't that crazy? It's like I can see wanting to, like, okay, such and such isn't my favorite, or I don't know, maybe I want to go in and hang out for a few minutes or whatever. I don't know. I
And
think it would be wise of them
and just
to
like
let
if
it
you're
in and
paying
out
$700 for that room at the Merriweather, it would be lovely to go back and enjoy the air
and like see
conditioning
it.
and have a
hmm
snack. Maybe use the coffee machine.
Right,
Maybe
right.
test out those pillows for a little bit. So that's why I was just like,
Seriously.
ooh. That was of
Uh-huh.
all the funny things, nothing about the bands that gave me pause or hesitation. It was the no in and out privileges.
Right. Yeah. I think, that also gives other things around the venue an opportunity to feed people, or, that kind of thing. So it's kind of a nice, I mean, I know you want your vendors inside to do well, but at the same time,
Yes.
you want your community to do well. So if somebody pops out for an hour or two and goes to a restaurant, that's good for your whole community and your whole town. That's just that.
Yeah, no,
I
exactly.
think that
So That'll be
you know.
interesting to see how they take the lessons learned and
Agreed.
adapt it for
Agreed.
next year. But
Agreed. Oh
regardless,
my gosh.
Eric,
Yes.
Erica and
They,
Jeremy sounded like they had a great time.
I know. Oh my gosh. We totally have to
Yeah.
go. I want to Oh my gosh. Yeah. Totally have to go. You guys, I'm so excited for you to hear from these two. They're so dang cute. I love them. Here's Jeremy and Erica.
Hello, welcome back to the podcast. We're so excited to have you two. And I have to say, Amy and I have been talking about you both, wanting
Mhm.
to know all about how M3 went in your experience. And as time was leading up to M3, all we kept saying is, oh, I wonder how it's going. I wonder how Jeremy's doing.
Jeremy
I
and
wonder.
Erica. Jeremy and Erica. Like over and over again.
We want to hear all about us. So now, when we're recording this, how long has it been since you were at M3? Has it been about a month now?
Mm,
Was May, about
yeah.
about 5 weeks,
Mm-hmm.
5 or 6 weeks. Yeah.
Okay.
We're still waking up from it.
Good. Yeah, still fresh in your mind, what you want to know. So
Yes, yes.
tell us all about it. Okay, first, how many days did you go? Did you do all 3 days and the pre-show?
We just went the 2 days.
We got there on Friday,
Right.
and I had met a guy. His name's Craig Gerber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
His name is Gerbzilla
Oh.
on Instagram.
Wonderful guy. Him and his wife.
He was
I'll look it up.
he was like the second person I ever had on the podcast. He was a DJ at KNAC. He hung out with the Rat Boys
Mm-hmm.
a lot. Back in, I believe he might have been 86, 87, 88. And he had contacted us, and him and his wife were going to go. So, being Friday night, it was just, it was Sebastian Bach and uh, Red Voodoo. Yeah,
Yeah.
were the opening bands. We opted to meet them at a place called the Lake House.
Yeah, Lake House. That's the big hotel.
That's where
everybody hangs
everybody
out.
hangs out.
Yes.
So when we got into town, we met up with them later and eat supper,
Mm-hmm.
and you can sit around in the lodge there, and that's where you can watch everybody,
Mhm.
come in and out. And I actually, Mark Slaughter was standing at the curb waiting for a DoorDash delivery. So I walked out and got my picture taken with him. I kind of didn't want to do it, but he looked over at me and said hello. So I figured that was a opportunity to, take a picture with him. And
He sits there so patiently and looks at him, and he's just like,
it sounds like a kid.
he is.
I don't want to go up to these people.
But we're like pushing him. I'm like, go.
That's what you're there for, right? I mean, this is what this weekend is. It's not private time. This is like rock and roll weekend.
Some
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are very, they don't mind you coming up to them, and some people you kind of just
Yeah.
feel it out a little bit. And,
Mhm.
one of your guests, Steve Brown, that you had on recently, he was walking all around. I never got the opportunity to get him when he wasn't around a group of people to speak to him, but we saw him that Friday night. It just kind of hung around because when we got the tickets and we did the VIP thing, and the VIP thing is nice. I mean, you get a T-shirt, you get a laminate, that kind of stuff. The people on the floor are the ones that are paying a couple of grand for a seat, and we don't have a couple of grand money, but we can afford to be a little bit closer in the seats to see the concert. But that's what we did. That's what we did on Friday night. I believe is that the only people we actually saw on Friday night?
We went downstairs to do karaoke.
Oh, yeah.
Mark Striegel was down there watching and stuff like that. So everybody was talking to him.
He was hosting him and Tommy London.
Tommy
They were
London.
hosting it.
Oh, nice.
But
Okay,
it's funny.
we have goals. Okay, Katya, that's another one. Karaoke night at M3. We want to host it. That's where we're going.
Yeah.
I'm not singing. I will host. I am not.
We can
Different
host.
thing.
That's
It's
right.
a different karaoke though.
You better know the words to the songs because they don't put a
give you the
screen in
words.
front of you.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. And some of these young kids knew the words.
Yeah,
We were
I was
impressed.
impressed.
Okay.
We were impressed.
Okay.
And of course, Saturday was all day long,
Mhm.
and Sunday was all day long. But Saturday was my favorite day because Saturday was Great White.
Mhm.
Lita Ford was Saturday, right?
Oh yes. I wasn't there on Saturday when Lita Ford was on stage. I was just,
Oh,
it was like a,
yeah. Jeremy's smiling though.
I know.
Well, I mean, I need to say, and she ribs me about it, but any kid, any teenage boy in around that 1987, Lita Ford was the hottest thing to ever walk
Yep.
the earth. I mean, they just, it is what it is. What it is.
That's what I say about Rick Springfield.
Yeah, she's a big Rick Springfield person.
We have ours that we could say that about too.
There you go.
There you go.
Did a whole show about one of them.
But like I say, Saturday was a full day, and it started at 12. And the band Child's Play wasn't a huge band back in the 80s, but they had an album called Rat Race, and they are actually from Maryland. And
Awesome.
I did enjoy because I have something like this here. It's called the School of Rock. They have that here, and I have that version in Maryland, and they got up on stage to play, and I really like that because that's our future rockers.
Yeah.
And I do enjoy that, the School of Rock stuff. They went like that in the beginning, so trying to keep it going,
Yeah.
That's the good
Well,
thing
I do
about
want to
it.
ask, like, with the kids there, is it a stadium? Like, is it more stadium all access? Everyone goes in at the same time, or is it seating?
There's seating. It's a covered area. They have a lawn area, but we're older, so we do not do the lawn. We did the lawn the first year, but I was mother hen, and there was a lot of drunk people, and I'm like, oh no, you don't need to be drinking anymore. You're way too drunk, kind of thing. So we sit in the seats and stuff. So, but it's you get tickets, and they have the covered area, so it's a nice facility. Clean bathrooms, clean everything.
And it's not a huge place.
No.
You've got a lot of these outdoor amphitheaters, and they're giant, but they have a nice
Wherever you sit, it's good.
Yeah.
Where you can see
a grassy area and like 2 tiers of seats.
Mhm.
But the people that were there, and I'll go ahead and say Steven Adler played, the drummer for Guns N' Roses, and I know Steven Adler's never going to really care what I have to say. He doesn't know me from a hole in the ground, but I think from what I have read, he has suffered a stroke at some point, and a lot of their music was knocked down a little bit of tempo. Does that make sense? Their songs were a lot slower.
That was good.
But the guy he's got singing with them, he sounds just like Axl Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
He can scream and belt just like Axl Rose can.
Well, and
Winger
is
was
Steve
there.
Adler? Is Adler playing a lot of the Guns N' Roses songs, or what music is he playing when he was at the festival?
That's all he played.
Guns N' Roses songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
They played "Sweet Child of Mine," "Patience," Paradise City, "Welcome to the Jungle." Just a full set of classic Guns N' Roses tracks.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Winger, I believe this is Winger's farewell tour, so it's neat to. I've always thought Rhett Beach was an amazing guitar player.
I like him. He's funny and just, I like it when you're at a point where you start to get to see people's personalities come out. It's not just rock star on a stage. He's just funny, and it's like personable, and it's like, I don't know. I love seeing that whole rock star persona is just.
Well, I think the older these guys are getting, they're just enjoying. People are coming that love to listen to what they're saying. So I guess the whole persona they had to have back in the 80s, I'm just me now. I'm a guy that drinks skim milk in my coffee now. I get up and I have to eat bran muffins every day. I mean, that whole rock star life is it is
That's so
what it
funny.
is. points.
They got grandbabies and
Yeah.
everything.
Oh,
I'm going to ask you, so who headlined for the shows for the 2 days you saw? Who were the two headliners or the
David Lee
main?
Roth, David Lee Roth, and Stephen Piercy and Warren DeMartini.
Mm-hmm.
oh.
Now I'll tell
Oh,
you
you
so
something
see
you
about
David Lee
did see
Roth?
the David Lee Roth
Yeah.
show.
Yeah,
we just didn't see
His big
Sebastian.
comeback.
Yes, it was his big comeback. He did awesome. He did
What
awesome.
did you think of the overall like night with him?
At first, I thought he was great.
I thought he was
He
great.
did great for this age and stuff like that. He was powerhouse out there.
He had 5 or 6 guys singing backup for him.
Mm-hmm.
He had a drummer, just a drummer, a bass player, and of course a guitar player. And those guys, they played everything to a T. He played old Van Halen songs, Sensible Shoes. He played
Wow.
songs from Skyscraper, and I tell you, to be his age, he's still an entertainer. He laughed and cut up, but a lot of people the next day, just reading social media that were there, bashed him and all. I didn't see anything wrong with anything he did.
Some people were bashing him that weren't even there, and
Yeah,
I
they weren't
couldn't
even
understand
there.
that. You weren't even
Oh,
Just watching a video that someone,
right.
broadcast from being there then. But thought David Lee Roth was great. It was. I never saw Van Halen back in the day, so yeah.
He was our first introduction to Van Halen was with David Lee Roth singing. So yeah, we don't expect him to be what he was back then, but if he could put on everything I've seen, it looked like a great performance.
Just be glad these guys are still willing to go out there and tour. Because these guys are getting in their 60s, some of them in their 70s. They're not going to be around to want to go perform and all. So I guess I'm not a basher. They came out there and they played. They played songs that I like, no matter who it is, but I thought he did a great job. The crowd was screaming and yelling, and he's got that David Lee Roth smile and, showing all his teeth, and he's pretty wild.
That's fun. Of course, Rat came on. You were.
Well, Rat was the headliner on Sunday.
He was a happy man.
Yeah, with Lita Ford and I can't remember.
Martini.
Warren DeMartini.
Yeah.
And
he was in another world when he came on.
Sunday was Great White, Lita Ford, Vixen came out and played. Yeah. Ace Frehley was there. Warrant was there on Sunday. And Warrant never disappoints. They just get out there and play everything you possibly want them to play. The lead singer for Warrant he does a great job singing their songs. And Ace Frehley, I think Ace Frehley might have been a bit intoxicated while he was out there.
Oh yeah.
Ace has done a lot of things in his storied career, so he's a little bit slower, but hey, he was playing guitar like he'd never slowed down, and it was great.
These concerts that I go to with Jeremy, I didn't go to a lot of concerts as a teenager at all.
So I up close. It's so hard to go back.
Yeah, you can't go back. So I've been living through him because I've never gone to any of these concerts and stuff. So I've been just as excited with him.
Can I go back for a second? Jerry Dixon was at this Warrant performance. Do you know he does not tour regularly with Warrant anymore? And
really?
I'm not quite sure why, but when my husband saw them up in Umatilla last year, Jerry was not there, but we heard that Jerry was going to be there. So that you guys got a treat. You guys got a real treat with everybody being there in the lineup.
Well, I think M3, the way they do it, certain bands come every 2 years, certain bands come every year, certain bands come every 3 years, that kind of thing.
You might get a Firehouse situation.
That's where I'm going.
That's what she was thinking. Oh.
Okay, wait, I got a question.
Because I know Dora Patch comes every other year. Lita Ford every other year. And the people that were there this year, it was about the same people that were there 2 years ago. Lita Ford, Great White, Warrant, 2 years ago. So maybe Maybe Firehouse will
And
get
she
it.
was like, she's like, okay,
I'm like, wait, okay, hold on.
okay.
So
Sorry.
maybe
I just
We're in aim. Let's do it.
She was like,
not excited at all. Do you know, actually, when we were looking at M3 this year, for I mean, Katya coming from Italy, from me coming from Oregon, if Firehouse had been here, it would have been there. It would have been the clincher. We would have been there. We were kind of waiting and going, oh no, oh no, and so we just kind of thought, shoot, with as expensive as it would have been for the two of us, we just thought we'd wait. That was that wasn't the whole part of it. It was kind of
We also
coordinating the
wanted to
here and
stay
the
at the
there.
lake house, so that was.
Yeah, yeah,
you have to
yeah,
stay there. Yeah.
yeah.
that place is
We'll be
amazing.
booking that. We'll be booking that well in advance.
Yeah.
So it's not so expensive.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
That's where everybody stays. Yeah, it's nice. And they have a nice restaurant in there and a bar and stuff like that. And you can sit at that bar and there's like a little right at the front door, there's like sofas and stuff like that. And people will sit there and just see people coming through the front door and stuff like that. And you're sitting there and you're going, oh my God, that's blah, blah, blah. And you're like sitting there like, oh, should I go up to them? You know, so it's
Well, so
fun
Erica,
stuff.
I'm going to ask you, like, talking about recognizing people. I heard Jeremy's a bit of a celebrity at M3. Tell us about that.
Well, you know, it's funny because I went to go use the facilities, right? And I come back and the people were sitting behind us. She goes, she taps me on my shoulder. She goes, I'm sorry, but who is your husband? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like that. She goes, these people keep on coming up to your husband while you're in the bathroom, all these ladies. And I'm like, ladies? I'm like, talk to me. What's going on? I was like, who did that fight? What's going on? No. And she's like, no, they keep on asking them to be on their podcasts and stuff. I'm like, oh, my husband has his own podcast, you know, Hair Metal Rules. She's, oh, I need to follow it like that. I'm like, oh yeah, like that. And so, and I said, I told you, honey, you got fans here. And I'm like a little concerned they're coming up to you when I'm gone, but whatever. But yeah, he's been having people come up to him. Of course, we had T-shirts and stuff that we gave away, and some we had some koozies, stickers and stuff that we gave away and stuff like that. And that was kind of funny. I'm enjoying seeing him. I think it's fun to see it. You know, I'm waiting for someone to get his autograph though.
That ain't gonna happen. But
Selfie. Let's take a selfie.
I know. I think that would be great. No,
you
you got some selfies.
Yeah, there's people.
There were some people that got some selfies with them.
But you follow so many people. I mean, people follow your page and all, and there's what 5,000 or 5,500 people on there. I don't know, you know, but people just we like what you post. I don't know. Like I say, the only person I've ever met from there is of course you guys, of course but not physically met. But
that's coming.
Craig
Gerber, and it was pretty cool meeting him in person. And
Craig and his wife, they're so funny. They were just so silly. They were just so silly. Yeah, that was fun. They were just two hoots and a holler.
I love it. I love it.
But the people that go to M3, it's like Eric, it's the same people. You recognize people, and it's their year-long vacation thing to go to M3 year after year after. I mean, they
have a lot 5
Why
party.
not?
They have like a lot 5, which is in the parking lot, and it's a whole family of them. Well, it's like a group that meet in this lot, and they have a party, and they bring food and Jello shots, and
love it, love it. I'm in.
Wow.
Yes, and they have a band that plays out there and stuff like that. And sometimes some of the celebrities will go out to that lot.
Wow. Yeah. We need to go.
It's fun. It's fun. Yeah.
Well, because that's interesting. Because didn't we hear like once you get into like to watch the concerts, you can't go in and out. So if you're in the lot, are you then outside the whole time?
Lot 5 is before the concert. Yeah, before the concert.
Okay.
Yeah.
But they start partying at 8 o'clock in the morning out there before, and then it's.
Oh, I need practice. Or I'm out of practice.
Yeah, you can't enjoy a concert if you're completely drunk. You can't enjoy it.
Yeah, and then you don't feel good, and then it's so hot. But yeah.
No, it was so funny because I brought my little plastic bag and this, I bring like my wet wipes and I bring Tylenol and Motrin and water bottle and stuff like that. Got all kinds of stuff in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm always prepared.
Didn't meet
No
that many
joke.
people this year. People just didn't come out as much, or either if they were, I couldn't get to them.
But
Of
who
course,
did you meet?
I did meet Stephen Piercy.
Yes, he did.
I did, and that was all thanks to Craig Gerber. But before that, I did meet Jaron. You guys like Jaron from Lynchburg,
Yeah.
and met him out there. Of course, Tommy London.
Yep.
Oh, tell the story. Ooh, there was controversy.
Ooh.
Well,
It's good.
the thing with it's the first year we've ever noticed it because if you're looking at the stage to the right hand side is where everybody comes in and out, and they'll congregate down there and watch the other bands. Other bands will watch other bands. Well,
Tommy London and Mark Striegel were the host. Okay.
and they had full access badges, meaning they could go anywhere. Tommy London, his girlfriend is Britt Lightning that plays the Vixen, okay? And Mark Striegel, he just likes the music.
Right. And they're the hosts,
So Tommy London was down there moving into the seats, that were down there, which nobody was sitting in, trying to take pictures of Britt while she was out there. And there was a security guard at the stage that was giving him and Mark Striegel a hard time, asking him, "Do you have a ticket for that seat? If not, you need to get to moving." And they went back and forth with each other for the longest time. Tommy London looked like he was getting a little upset, but that's like I said, that's the first year I've ever seen them come down hard on those guys. He could have went anywhere he wanted to go with that.
Right. It was just this one security guy.
And then he gave Mark Striegel a hard time too. And Mark Striegel was kind of
quiet.
He's a pretty laid back, quiet guy, so he didn't really get into it with it. But you could tell Tommy London because he's looking up at this guy. He's not liking what this guy's saying to him. But
I gave him respect. But then Tommy London and Mark Striegel got on stage and looked at the security guard. Can I stand up here? Would that be okay?
Oh, nice.
And I was like, I cheer. I had to cheer. That was awesome. That was awesome.
I would have too.
That was like, and the guy kind of looked up at him like it was great.
I bet he won't be back next year.
That's what we're all trying to see if that was going to happen or not. We'll see.
He probably won't.
Either that or next year. They won't be hosting next year. I don't know.
I can imagine it's probably a security guard that won't be back.
And he was like the head security guard over all of them, and I guess he might have been just doing his job. I mean, you got to give him. Yeah. Got to give the man credit. He was probably doing exactly what
nobody else was agreeing with him. I don't think anybody else, but that's all good. But it was funny. I enjoyed it. But everyone was watching that instead of what was going on the stage because people on the top were like, "Did you see what happened?" I said, "Weren't you way up there?" Oh, you got trouble.
This year, just being able to see, Warren DeMartini, with Stephen Piercy, that was, and plus you had Carlos Cavazzo from Quiet Riot was in the band. Bloss from Slaughter was in the band. Mm-hmm. So it was really an all-star lineup, but just seeing Warren DeMartini still has the same facial expressions that he had in all the rap videos. He's just he's one of my favorite guitarists because I always, no matter what, Rat could put out a CD of nursery rhymes back in the 80s. And it would have been the craziest thing you've ever heard in your life. I mean, there's never been a Rat album that came out that they have their own sound, and it would have been neat to see the whole band there. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Warren with gray hair, gray in his hair, cut short, but he's you could tell. I think him and Stephen Piercy, I know they've had their problems over the years, but they look like they had fun.
Oh, that's the best.
It looked like they had a good. But like I said, Craig Gerber had been telling me, you're gonna meet Stephen Piercy, and I thought he was just kidding with me. You're gonna meet Steve. So sure enough, after the concert was over with, him and his wife came and got us, and we went upstairs, and they brought us in, like, brought 8 of us. There's about 8 of us, right? In this
Wow.
room.
And
And
this little girl, remember the little girl?
there's a little girl, probably about 6. She was a big Rat fan, and she was waiting to see Steve Piercy.
Aw.
But yeah, they brought us back in a room, and you got a laminate, got a 8x10, and a few minutes later, here you come in there, and it was quickest 5 seconds of my life, because he took a picture with you and signed, but he did what he was there to do.
Right.
I got a photo standing up. So I put on Instagram. I said I look like the fat kid that got picked last for the volleyball game or the kickball game in this picture. Standing beside him. But it's weird. I always get emotional about things like that because I have loved this music for so long, and I never in a million years I turned 54 Monday, so at 53 years old,
Happy
imagine meeting.
birthday.
Thank you.
And then Erica will say it to you too. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
They're like, you guys are like 3 days apart?
Yep, 3 days apart.
3 days
3
apart.
days.
1 year and 3 days.
1
Just
year
want to
and
add that in.
But I
Katya
only
and
have-
I are 1 year and 2 days.
Look at that.
Nice. Look at that.
Nice.
But it was neat meeting him, and I thought that was. He signed my. Well, it's back here, but I had Out of the Cellar in my hand, the album.
Aw.
He's like, man, where'd you get that thing from? I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, that's an old one right there. He's like, how long have you had it? I said, well, that album came out in '84. So I get around '84. So I guess I've had it since 1984, but he signed his name to it. He's like, that's a good one right now. He said, you don't see those. He said, people don't bring those very often. I said, well, all right. He's just a nice guy.
Yeah, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know, it's a little known fact, and I don't even know if Katya's going to know this. The very first rock star that I got a picture of was Stephen Piercy. And I was it was before we met. And we would go down to Hollywood. My mom would take me down there and we'd just drive around. We'd go to Hard Rock Cafe and we'd go just like sightsee, and go by the sights, and we'd drive through Beverly Hills and all this stuff. We're driving through this North Hollywood neighborhood. I'm pretty sure I was still in junior high, but I had seen MTV and I had seen like Round and Round. And so I recognized him, and it was in a neighborhood, and he was outside, and there was another guy sitting at a table, and he was kind of leaning a little bit over the table, but it was the classic bandana and the hair. And it must have been a time between tours or something like that. And I made my mom go around the block, and in my Kodak disc camera, I took a picture while she was driving. So
Nice.
It's fuzzy and blurry, but I was like, that's Stephen Piercy. My mom's like, I don't know who the heck that is. I said, it's okay. Just go around one more time. I'm just going to get a picture. But that's as far as it, I was teeny tiny. I was not even 15 years old. So,
but you knew who he
that's
was.
the very first picture of a celebrity that I have is
There you go.
and I don't know where it is to this day, but I've seen it in the last decade, so I know it's there.
It's there somewhere.
Well, that's pretty cool. That's neat. Like I say, I envy you, from you living in that area. I mean, even the first time, we did podcasts. You guys saw Vane, Babylon AD. You saw so many of these guys when they were in clubs.
Do you know both those guys are going to be at both those? Well, Davey Vane and Babylon AD are both going to be at the Whiskey this summer.
Oh, really? Wow.
Babylon AD. And my husband's old bassist is opening for Babylon AD.
Nice.
So Greg is opening for Babylon. His band is opening for Babylon AD.
But yeah, it's you guys saw a lot of people. I think that's so neat. But it was a great weekend. Like I said, I've seen there's been better M3s I went to. I'm just biased as towards if it's somebody there that I've never ever seen, like Lillian Axe one year, Heaven's Edge one year. I always like those more obscure bands that weren't the mainstream. And so M3, it's a great experience. Mm-hmm. You get up in the morning, you know where you're going to go. You're there all day long.
Yes.
There's maybe 30 minutes in between sets.
Your legs will hurt at the end of the day from getting up or sitting or
Getting up or sitting.
yeah.
And, they just rotate the stage around, and there's another drum kit already set up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
So if they're run
So they don't
straight
even.
into
Yeah.
what's that?
That's convenient for teardown.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just
Wow.
rotate the whole drum riser, marshals, and all that stuff around to the back, and then like when here comes the winger set, or here comes warrants. At Warrant, they had projection screens with the cover of the Cherry Pie album covers, what their backdrop was. But it's a lot of fun. You guys wait till you got Firehouse in the lineup and check out M3. You guys will stay at the lake house. You'll love it there. We try to go every year.
Yeah.
Like for the next year,
we found a good hotel to stay at. We don't stay at the lake house because it's too expensive, but we found a nice hotel, a Marriott hotel that's like 20 minutes away.
But we saved for a year and pay for it that way. And it costs so much money to eat there.
Yeah.
We was talking about a place called Wawa, and I know Wawa's made famous on the Goldbergs because that's where they hit
Wawa, yes.
the Wawa. It's
Yes.
the same kind of store, but we went and got subs and chips and things like that, and took them with us, and maybe got something to eat maybe once a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like something that we could split.
But it's no different than going to any other kind of outdoor concert.
You're
Sports,
there
all that too. Yeah.
Okay.
Just so I can prepare myself. How late does the concerts go? Are we talking midnight?
No.
It was over with probably about 11 o'clock because where the pavilion is actually a business district that has stores, and people live in apartments over the top of the stores. So there's probably a noise ordinance that it has to be over with by 11.
So where it gets really late is at the lake house.
That's what I was. Yeah.
Lake house, yes, that's where everybody.
Did you go to the lake house?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You go to the lake house, and then they have after parties, but they also have there's bars around that area that have concerts before M3, like maybe the Thursday before. They'll have concerts with some bands like Midnight Devils and the other group with your people from Raleigh, from Fayetteville.
Oh, the Fifth.
The Fifth. Midnight Devils and the Fifth were playing a concert in around Thursday before M3. They were there doing a concert before then for M3.
Nice.
There's always concerts and stuff beforehand too.
And afterward for the after party?
After party, it's at the lake house. They'll meet downstairs and have after parties down there. They had karaoke that one night, and then sometimes they'll do some other parties. Trivia. I think they did trivia one night.
They did
80s
music
trivia
on Saturday.
Oh, Saturday night, yeah.
Did you play that?
We did. Did we do that one night? I don't think we did it that one night because I think both of us were done. We were tired.
I was like, you would have excelled at that.
I know he would have. I think we were physically exhausted.
Yeah.
And we had to wake up next day to do the whole long day on Sunday.
And the lake house is about like you can walk to the pavilion from the lake house if you chose to. It's like they're right in the same little complex.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's not far.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun. It's a fun weekend. We look forward to it every time we go. Yeah. It's fun. We enjoy it. And plus, there's not a friend that you don't meet when you go there. I mean, you make friends when you're there.
Well, I was going to say, was there any rumors of who might play next year?
No,
they keep that a secret.
No.
Okay.
They just.
But like I told you, I talked to Mark Striegel one time, and he said that they are on a rotation. So the bands that were there this year will not be there next year.
Makes sense. Yeah.
If you can go back and look at what year Firehouse was there, and maybe times 2, or they would probably be there this coming year. It's on a 2-year rotation. Like I said, next year it'll probably be Dora Pesh will be there.
Dorpech was so good.
Because Slaughter's been there every other year. We've been there.
What's that group that I like? The ladies black, the witch.
Burning Witches.
Burning
They
Witches.
were there one year.
Burning Witches are so good.
That's a lot heavier.
I don't know, but they were good. I like them.
They mixed some stuff in there. Like one year they had the Iron Maidens. Burning Witches were there one year, to try to put them on the first day.
Just technical question when you go, do you buy tickets for all 3 days or is it per day tickets? I'm just seeing different changes in festivals this year where it's
you can buy per day tickets. We just buy the 3-day pass.
Buy the 3 day, absolutely.
The 3-day VIP pass.
Yeah, when you get a T-shirt and you get a laminate, but you get to sit in not the floor, but the next tier up, which our seats this year were the best ones we've ever had.
Yeah, right in the middle.
And that's what you want. I need to be closer to it. I need the good seats.
We want to be on the
Me
floor.
too.
That's where we really want to be.
The one person walking around there that I wanted to meet so bad was, who's the guy, Mark Weiss? Is that his name?
Oh, photographer?
Yeah, he was taking pictures. And he was walking all by Craig, the guy we met there.
You got his magazine, though.
I got one of his magazines, but I wanted to get Craig to get him signed that sub, because that guy he's took some phenomenal pictures, over the years.
All through the years, man. Yeah.
We're still down there taking pictures. He has a hardbound book that they sell there every year of all these. He is signed and all. It's a great time, ladies. It's
have fun.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
No, I did. I would love to just talk to everyone, get out there. Yeah, that all sounds like exactly like right up my alley.
By the time we left, the people in front of us, we had friended them on Facebook, Instagram.
Yep.
The people behind us, we had friended them on Facebook, Instagram. Like I said, a couple of people that were way on the other side of the stadium had came over and spoke.
Aww.
And
because you got the husband who was real quiet and shy. You got him to dance and
the guy in front of us, he was dancing to I forget what
it was his song.
One of the Winger songs, Down Incognito.
Yeah, he didn't dance to any song. Yeah. As soon as this song came on, all of a sudden he was like,
oh, nice.
I went down there with him and put my arm around him, and we sung it to the top of our lungs. And he's like, "Thank you for doing that, man." He's like, "This is just so much fun, and it's fun when people just act like themselves." I was like, "Well, that's why you're here."
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy and live out 30 years of your youth. Sing it at the top of your lungs. That's what it's all about. And
what other songs did you two belt out?
I belted out every song that came out. I'm a big
Lady Red Light.
Lady Red Light is one of my favorite songs by Great White. Uncle Tom.
Yeah, we sang that one.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
She's only 17.
Oh yeah.
Song out.
Yeah, I'm gonna start singing as you're.
I was trying to think of each band. Ace Frehley has a song called "There in the Night Somewhere." Now y'all have heard that song before. That's one of my favorite Ace Frehley songs. But every song, I can't talk by the time we leave.
I like watching him. I'll be watching him the whole time. He's playing that air guitar like there's no tomorrow.
Eric, I hope you were getting some of those videos too to post on Instagram.
Right.
Oh,
right.
I can play the guitar solo to Lady Red Light better than Mark Kendall can play.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I think there's some old videos somewhere with a broom somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, there. I was talking about that. When I first started my TikTok page, I didn't know nothing about TikTok. So I have to find them. But I have videos. I have a blonde wig on, sunglasses. I have a bandana tied around my head. I have some ripped Motley Crue jeans that I painted, and a Motley Crue t-shirt. And I didn't know how to do lip syncs TikTok, so that was my first first few videos I ever put on.
Hey, we want a treat and trunk.
Trigger trunk.
Trick or trunk dressed as 80s hair band, and he made guitars out of foam board, and we made like speakers. Oh, he has it. One of his guitars there.
See, this is actual
foam board.
Fender Stratocaster. Fender.
And a foam board.
That looks incredible.
Wow.
I even put the Fender at the top.
And the foam board. And we made speakers. He'll show you the other one. We made speakers out of paper boxes and stuff like that. We won this. Wait till you see this other one he made. That's his favorite.
And I made George Lynch's Mr. Scary guitar.
Look at that.
He made that out of foam board.
Wow. And you painted that.
Yeah. And it's foam board cut out, and I've colored it.
Gosh.
All these are separate pieces of foam board. I took the picture of his guitar and just hand drew it and glued it all on there. But yeah, that's my Mr. Scary.
Okay, that is a talent. That is amazing.
In and of itself, right there.
I know.
It's very talented, artistic talent. Like, he can draw. Like, you should see the picture he has of Motley Crue that he hand drew in college.
Wow.
I'll send you that picture sometime. So,
all right. Well, if you get bored in retirement, you know what you can do.
I'd say painting jean jackets, painting shirts, painting guitar,
himself, you know.
Yeah, these are my mini guitars. It's Michael Wilton's from Operation.
Okay,
those are amazing.
That's George Lynch.
Jeremy needs a booth.
Kamikaze ESP, and this is there's another Michael Wilton, and I even cut the jack, and it's got actual strings on it. You know, so I got a lot of ladies.
Wow.
No, you have artistic talent is what you have. That is.
I told him about your Motley Crue picture. You have to show him that.
Yeah, I'm gonna post that. I'll post that on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's huge, and I just took it section by section and drew it, and it's charcoal and all that stuff.
Gosh.
So Amy, one more question before we end this. Name like 3 people or 3 acts that you would love to see at M3.
Acts I would love to see at M3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I'm gonna give that to him because
it can even be a repeat. It can't even be Lillian Axe coming back.
Erica's gonna say Rick Springfield, so we've got hers.
Because that's my guy.
Okay, I would like to see Hurricane Alice.
Okay.
I've never seen Hurricane Alice before.
Okay.
I would love to see Lillian Axe again, and then play nothing but old Lillian Axe stuff, and would have loved to have seen Great White back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Way back when.
I never got to see him with Jack Russell. The original.
That was special. Yeah, that was special.
That's what's fun about what you guys are doing, and I love some of the people you've had on here lately. You got some what I call big wigs on there lately, and I love especially the 2 guys you got from Trickster that's been on there. I think I always liked Trickster. Trickster got a raw deal back in the day because they come along in the 90s, and
they got the tail end.
Really didn't know what to do with them because they're good-looking guys. They've got plaid shirts with the sleeves cut out. They still got big hair. They're kind of, what do we do with these guys? But they made great music.
And you think of like Steve Brown is just a brilliantly amazing, like we call him like almost a prodigy type musician. He is
him with Tokyo
so
Motor.
talented.
The very first year we went there with Ted Pullen.
Wow. Tokyo Motor Fest.
Yeah, we saw.
I've never seen them together.
We saw them the first year we were ever there. That's a crazy good band, you know. So
nice.
Yeah, they're great.
I got to see Trickster in Portland in March, so that was
really?
fun. And that's actually how that connected, because it was like I'd reached out to Steve, but you know, Kobe came on the show, And so he was a little familiar with it because Kobe tagged him, and at that time he didn't follow me, so he's like, I don't know anything about this. But then when I saw him at the show, he goes, yeah. He's like, thanks for hooking Kobe up, is what he said. And I was like, we'd love to have you. And he goes, reach out in 2 weeks. So I was like, okay. So I set my alarm for 2 weeks. Literally, I did. I put a notice on the calendar. And I was like, okay, Steve, 2 weeks.
We're going to a concert in a couple of weeks. This Anthony Quarter from Tora Tora, the Midnight Devils, and Trickster.
Oh,
I don't know how many of them from Trickster will be in it.
It's usually Steve and PJ.
Steve and PJ. So we could see them in last weekend of this month. Some kind of
nice
2-day thing they're having at the Rooster Club.
Yes.
All right.
Weird place. I saw it. I'm like, let's go check that out. So that'll be.
Well, I love the idea of going to clubs and seeing. It feels even more intimate, more familiar, more. I love my big concerts, but I'd love a club.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'll take a club any day.
We saw Firehouse a couple of years ago at
Charlotte
at Amos, and saw Wasp at the Fillmore.
It's really funny. You mentioned Babylon AD and being Bay Area girls. I never got to see Babylon AD because the shows that they had that were all ages, for some reason something was going on and I couldn't do it. But funny story, Katya. Babylon AD. So I met Clay November 6th of 1992, and I only know because we have a flyer from the show. And his birthday is closer to Thanksgiving. And Katya and I were not 21, and he was celebrating at Niles Station, seeing Babylon AD at Niles.
We couldn't get to that show
because we weren't of age. Niles Station was 21 and over, and so we went and decorated Clay's car for his birthday.
Yes, we did.
We listened to the music from outside for a little bit. Do you remember?
Absolutely. Now that you said that, I remember that.
Yeah. So the closest, at least I ever got to Babylon AD, was sitting outside
the club.
We did balloons and toilet paper.
Yeah,
it was
crepe
paper. It was crepe paper.
Yeah, no, it was crepe paper. It wasn't toilet paper.
Yeah.
Oh, that was fun.
For Clay's
birthday. A lot
birthday.
of great memories, and that's a good, good thing about this music is, it takes you back to a much simpler time in your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I might be 54 still listening to Pretty Boy Floyd, but
that doesn't matter. That's
yeah, right.
Oh
my gosh, I love
it. And it's the memories now too, like going to the clubs as like proper adults now, like to be able to have the confidence to talk to people and to connect with people and making those connections. You're probably making more connections now than we ever would have made when we were younger, because we're not self-conscious about it anymore.
I would never want to talk to people like I do when I was a teenager, like I would do now. No. He doesn't. I do. He does. I'll go right up to people now and talk to them. I wouldn't have done it as a teenager.
So that's why, that's why I'm glad we have like spaces to do it now. Like that's why I'm so looking forward to going to some more shows, to like just to do that. Like, granted, love the music and I can't wait, but I just love the fans to be out there talking to everyone who has like my same interests.
And it takes all kinds. The most unlikely person you would ever think. Next thing you know, you've been talking to them for 45 minutes just because you got one thing in common. You liked Warrant, or you liked Rat, or you this, and it's great to make connections with people. It's like you say, it's great that there's still M3s and festivals, and these bands still going to clubs, and younger people, you're taking the reign of it and listening to the stuff that we listen to at their age. So I think it's awesome.
It is.
Agreed. Oh my gosh, you guys, we love you.
All right. Well, we appreciate it so much.
Yeah, we had fun.
Yeah.
Thank
Oh gosh,
you.
we definitely, the four of us have to get together. And actually, I also have to plug in 5 because my husband really wants to meet you, Jeremy. So,
Another fan. Another
yeah,
fan.
another fan.
Yeah, man, them can talk for hours. Trust me.
Yeah, I know. That's the thing. See, that's Erica, this is how it'll work.
Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll leave the
I'm aware.
boys,
Oh, I
and
know.
then us girls are gonna go and do our
That,
thing and leave the boys.
sounds good to me.
That
I'm
sounds
used to
good.
it.
I'm in. Let's do it.
That's what happened to
All right, you guys.
Okay.
It's really late for Katya,
Thanks.
so we
Thank you
should
so
probably
much.
go. But thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Well, have a great
All
week.
right, you
Thank you
guys.
so much, ladies.
Bye.
I
We'll talk to
will.
you
Okay.
soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, Erica. That was so much fun. That was so much
Loved it.
fun to live the concert through their
Mm-hmm.
experience.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to go. I'm definitely keeping. I wish they would announce. I don't know. We're just gonna have to try to find some insider information on certain bands to see
So
if
if
they're gonna
anyone
be
has
there.
any, let
That
us know. We'll
I
keep it
think.
quiet.
Yeah, yeah. We promise.
We won't let
We
you. No
just
promises.
here. Yeah. Well, no. Here's the kicker. Okay, so if somebody tells me that a specific band who I may or may not have gotten excited about in talking with Jeremy and Erica, if we find out that they're going and then suddenly we tell the whole world we're going to M3, you might know.
And it rhymes with Pyre Mouse.
You're so great. I love you so much. Oh my God.
I won't point to the picture behind me to be like,
I know.
oh.
Oh my. Oh, where's mine?
Uh,
Oh, look. It's you can just see.
I
Where
see.
is
Yeah, I
it?
can see it right here. Yep, there it is. There it is. Oh, I
Oh my
love it.
gosh.
Well, Amy, tell
Okay.
us what else happened this last week.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we're a little late in posting this, but or saying it, we have a winner for our t-shirt contest. Our Rock the Life t-shirt, if you remember on a couple of episodes, a few episodes, a little while back, we let you know that if you want to wear a Rock the Life t-shirt or want to have or win a Rock the Life t-shirt, all you needed to do was share our reels on your Instagram story and tag me. And Shan-Marie 1976 did that, and she's the winner of
Thank you,
our shirt.
Shannon.
So we'll be getting that out in the mail to her, and ta-da!
And Amy, you're wearing the shirt
Yes,
right now.
I
Show us
am.
the shirt. Show us the shirt.
There's Cece.
I love this shirt.
They're so
I
cute.
love it.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for her to have one, and we'll probably be putting out some other little promos. You can grab your own Rock the Life shirt at rtlmerch.com. Don't forget, we are saving up $4 million to buy Vamped, so make sure you get one today. Okay, that's funny.
I know.
All right. Just gonna giggle for
And
a
if
second.
you
Hold on.
and if we can get a hold, if they can see us with your Rock the Life shirt, Amy, you can also do the creative cutting that you did, which makes I love mine even more because of it.
Oh, yeah, we can do the neck and stuff. Anyway, you guys follow us on our socials, like and subscribe, share the show. That's going to be the new
Thank
thing.
you. And thank you for
Yes.
sharing.
Yes.
I really
So
appreciate
much.
it.
So much. You guys, if there's somebody you want to see on the show, please make sure that you send us a note, because I think probably a good 50-ish% of the people we've had on our show and the bands that we've heard about, the musicians that we've contacted and reached out to, have come from suggestions from other people.
Absolutely.
So please make sure that if there's somebody you want us to talk to, that you let us know, because we'll be happy to reach out and do all that fun stuff.
Yes.
Alrighty. My friend, it's another one.
It's been fantastic.
Yeah. Enjoy your week. And wherever we are, don't forget.
Don't forget.
Don't forget. Rock the life.
Rock the life.
Yay. Bye.